Hi, I'm Jeffrey John Barron.
And where do you go to school?
I go to Northeastern.
And what year are you?
I'm in my last year.
And he's an intern here until December. All right. And I'm, you know who, Michael Lamport Commons, the first and last. Okay, go ahead. What's your first question?
In the past, have you had grandiose dreams?
Of course, everybody has grandiose dreams. They're typical dreams, like flying. I always love my flying dreams. And then my favorite dreams are I'm out on an orienteering course and I'm sort of just off the ground about this far, flying along. And then sometimes I'm not so grandiose, I'm only running at top speed, which is faster than I can run. But I don't have any, I have normal, important dreams. But these are real. I mean, I've addressed 400 people before. I've been on television. Those aren't grandiose. Grandiose is things that have never happened. And those have never happened to me. I mean, the fact that I did 5K, which on trails is equivalent to 5 miles, and I did it in 2 hours and 5 minutes, is as close to grandiose reality as you can get. Next question. I don't remember any grandiose dreams. Oh, I mean, in real life, there are always women who take an interest in me and in my dreams. But I mostly dream about Patty.
What is your secret indulgence then?
Secret? I don't have any secret. I just do all of them in for real. There are no secret indulgences. I'm a very self-indulgent person. I bought 2 terabyte hard drives rather than 750s because they were $100 more, and I wanted the 250 terabytes because I didn't want to change them in a year or 2 when we run out of room. So, I indulge, but I don't know they're really very indulgent because I like shopping at the Dollar Tree. That's my favorite. And I even take Saranya there and buy her whatever she wants. Yes. And I'm much more interested in giving than taking. I think that's part of my personality. And my daughter out of law, Brooke, doesn't understand that I never put any claims on for any gifts that I ever give. To me, it's for me giving the gifts. It's not for the other person. I give the gifts because I'm annoyed by their state of affairs, so I have to give the gift. It has nothing to do with them. I don't like people that much. I don't feel beholden to other people. I have a present for Kyle, though, that he's going to be very upset about.
What is it?
It would not be a surprise if I told you, right? And then he wouldn't be annoyed enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But I like your question. Go on.
True or false? White men cannot be oppressed.
Of course they can be oppressed. Everybody can be oppressed. We're all oppressed by people who have more power and lower stage. I mean, why do you think I don't like dealing with bureaucracies? Because they're oppressive. And, I'm smart enough that when the police stop me, I admit my guilt. Because I don't want to get a ticket, and I understand their power. Not like my brother. I would never argue with the policeman. I've been in big demonstrations even as the leader and never spent a day in jail. I spent a couple hours in jail once because I wouldn't sign a ticket for speeding because I wasn't speeding. But I would probably sign the ticket now. There's no point. I mean, when people are not as smart as you are, you have to remember what Jesus said. We're all creatures of nature. And they don't choose to be in their position, so why should I? I can be disrespectful of their behavior, but not of them. So we can be oppressed by the actions of other people, not by the person themselves. People who are oppressed, I mean, everybody wonders why I'm not so afraid of Trump and why, if there was a dictatorship, I could live with it. And it's very, very simple. I mean, in the end, truth, beauty, and fairness win out. You just have to be patient. You don't have to take it personally. I don't take. I was just talking to Wayne. I was saying, the police discriminate tremendously against blacks, and in politics, women get discriminated against all the time. And these are facts. They're upsetting, but I don't. The holders of these opinions are. Their behavior is bad, but it doesn't make them bad. It just means their behavior is bad. It's like prisoners. I have no trouble with murderers. They're people. I treat them with respect. And I can deal with terrorists for the same reason. Terrorists are people. If you treat them with respect and you don't try to control them, the fact that they're oppressive and kill people is just a bad behavior. And
is change possible then?
Of course it's possible. A bunch of us just wrote a paper, Saranya included, on long-term attractors, determine what happens in the creation of new and better social memes. Society is always getting fair. Always, always, always. Not in always the short run, but in the long run. And there always are very fair people around and who do good deeds. There's no, you can't go to a period where everybody behaved in an evil fashion. This was true in the worst dictatorships. People do go along with things often out of fear. Often, as the studies show, people who are abused identify with their abuser. And that doesn't mean that people shouldn't be responsible. It just means how we hold them responsible should be effective, not reactive, not punishment-oriented, which doesn't work. Go on. Anything else you want to follow up? Continue.
Who's your best friend, or was?
I don't have a single best friend. I have a lot of extremely good friends. And I'm unusual in that sense. I surely am more like women in that sense. I mean, Bob and Lynn Miller are very close friends of mine. And I'm there for them and they're there for me. Lamont Young is a very close friend of mine. I've saved him a number of times and he would do the same for me. We're very close. And we don't always talk all the time, but I don't think good friends are about talking and social niceties. I think they're whether you're there for each other. I think, and whether you feel comfortable being intimate.
Daddy? Daddy is your friend too, right?
No, she's not a friend, but I don't consider her a friend. She's more than a friend. And But I surely like some people more than others. I used to deny that. But there are a lot of people I like a lot more. Gary's a friend of mine. Gary Gallagher. I said if I died, I wanted him to have my kids. And I surely trusted him and his wife, Helen. There are not a lot of people I trust. I mean, I'm not a paranoid, but I think that I'm not a very trusting person. Sharon Stein would say that's part of my partial attachment disorder. That I'm not very trusting. And that's why I'm always needling people. There are only two people in the room here that I don't needle all the time. Kyle and Dristy. Everybody else I needle all the time. Right? Startalk?
Yeah.
And that's an issue of trust.
Mm.
So go on. I think trust is a major issue. I think Erickson's periods until you get to adulthood are correct. But I don't think the adult Ericksonian periods are correct. And I think Levinson's stuff on the adult development is even more wrong, and it's very culturally sensitive. But I think that I've never observed that people in any semi-modern society don't have an identity crisis in their teenage years and start to separate from their parents. I just observe it in all cases. So, I mean, I'm an Ericksonian in that sense, but the adult stages of generativity, no. Not at all. There are a lot of people who never become generative. But I think it's much more complicated. Not everything is stage. There are periods also. Go on. Next question.
That's all I have.
Okay, stop for a minute.